There are no recipes for the development and implementation of a co-teaching model. However, there are lessons that can be learned that will optimize success. One thing is placing value on co-teaching as one of many inclusive practices. It does not need to happen for every single lesson. The teacher candidate should be viewed by the students as another teacher in the classroom. It is the behind-the-scenes planning where the shift in responsibility happens. Find time for mutual planning. This is essential for this model to work. A minimum of an hour a week should be necessary. Don't overlook the small stuff, otherwise it becomes big stuff. Teacher candidates and mentor teachers come with different experiences and personalities, as well as expectations. Keep communication strong for those times when both parties may disagree. One size does not fit all. I think we can all agree that this is the most common form of introduction to student teaching. We ask our candidates to observe for a while, then we ask them to wander around the classroom and help as needed. This model really does want to get us to think about how we approach the assisting or the drifting, and it may be intentional with purpose. Maybe there are classroom management issues that need to be addressed during the instructional time. Teacher candidates often struggle with management, so it might be possible that at the beginning of an internship, the mentor teacher could provide assistance in classroom management, and then the teacher candidate could just teach. There's so much to learn about the art of teaching, and those of us who have done it for a long time forget that lesson planning and management does not all come together at once. This particular model can free up the candidate to concentrate on just one part. This strategy is defined as one educator taking a lead in providing instruction while the other monitors the classroom for management and understanding or assists individual students as necessary. This is the simplest approach because it requires very little planning or coordination between the two teachers. However, the teacher who assumes the assisting role may not be utilizing full teaching skills and may feel like a glorified teaching assistant. This makes it critical for the teachers to share the roles of teaching and assistant, and not always the teacher candidate is the assisting. Some ways to implement may be circulating to ensure that all students are on task, understanding the content and the expectations. Another way is to model note-taking, writing instructions on the board, taking roll, following up with students who were absent, collecting homework and scheduling help sessions for students. Asking aloud questions students may feel shy about asking or questions needed for clarification. Could be used for proximity control or setting up materials for stations, labs. Providing additional examples of work. How about on-the-spot help for students who struggle during work time? And then implementing accommodations or assistive techniques. Some of the pros is it can be used in large and small groups. It embeds the objectives and goals into content instruction. It requires little planning and is easy to implement. Cons, it's not co-teaching unless both teachers take passive and active roles periodically. There are two ways to look at assessment, formative and summative. For most of the co-teaching experience, assessment is part of forming the teacher candidate into an effective new teacher. When looking at One Teach, One Assist, there are some ways to think of assessing. The development of a reporting system that is used during the assisting process may work with a clipboard as a person assisting moves around the class. This way, an assistant can note exactly who they were working with and what the result had been.